Hi guys, welcome back to An African Eye. I'm Ash Appleton. This episode is coming to you from a stunning container home in Nairobi, and I can't wait for you to see and to also meet the amazing woman behind this space. So keep watching. Suki is a professor of design at the Technical University of Kenya. And through her formidable experience at the University of Nairobi, Cornell University, and UC Berkeley, she has championed a human ecology philosophy in design. So she's going to talk a little bit more about this and show us around her amazing home. So let's meet her. Hi.
Hi, Ash. Nice to see you.
Thank you so much for having us. It's great to see you outside the dance studio.
Oh, yes. Those long days ago.
Yeah,
but really,
yes,
I
yeah.
really look forward to wanting to come and share this with
Can't
you.
wait to have a look.
Well, would you like to come in?
Absolutely. Thanks. Wow, I mean, this is just blowing me away, Suki. Because my concept of a container home is like a very basic, structure, but it's just so elaborate and airy and spacious. What was your sort of thinking behind the design? How did it get started? Yeah?
Well, it was quite simple, but not as easy as it looks.
Yeah.
Actually, I started with two 40-foot containers.
Also, the two containers.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't want to do too much construction.
Yes.
So this was a good way of doing
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
And so when I was designing it, and it did take a while, I mean, I really had to reflect on it. I thought, okay, how do I best want to do this? And what I have found in most cases, in most structures, whether you talk about different flats and everything and houses, we tend to take a more Western approach where we just build it and then we put people in it.
Okay.
That's the tendency.
Yes.
But I went about it a different way, and I decided that it makes more sense to look at how do you feel in the space, how do you interact in the space. And that thinking really came out of looking at African homesteads, because our homesteads were not based on putting people in it. They were based on our interactions and how we related.
So interesting. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Ah.
So that's what really, I mean, even as I've been doing design, the focus was on how people interacted. And one of the things I find we miss from the modern house is that level of interaction, and the house being a support system to the relationships in the house and how people want to be. In most cases, you find it's really like, okay, 3 bedrooms, a toilet,
Yes.
and now you have to work with it.
Yeah.
But this came out of saying, no, I want to know what really happens in a home. Can it really be a home because of the relationships? And that's what it really is about.
That's just so inspiring, and I'd love to know more about how that actually translates into what I'm seeing now. So in terms of putting people at the center, as you say. So like in this space, I love this space, and there's so many influences I can see in terms of culture as well. And so how does that translate into what you've just said?
Okay, interaction is the key thing. Most of the time, work from my heart. I mean, I go to the space and I like, this space feels good. Why? And I look to see what is making it feel the way it is. And that's how I actually
No, I
design.
love that concept of you say you work from the heart, because my big thing for me is well-being in the home, and I've said it in previous episodes. It's not just about buying things and bringing them in and hoping to create the home of your dreams. It's about the feeling and the ambience you create.
The home needs to be a place that you just stop.
Of course, it has to be. Yes.
But it stops and supports what you do. So to a large extent, I find people are also not aware of what they do in a home.
What do you mean about not being aware of what they're doing?
Well, you see, there's certain interactions and things you do and habits. We have habits, and we want to support our habits. Most design does not support our habits. So and that habit, of course, habits are subconscious.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I look at in design is to really understand what a person does in their house, what is important to them, and how long do they intend to be there. Because depending on how long they intend to be there, there's going to be transitions of the life cycle of a human being. So you may be younger when you get the house, but then you're going to get older.
Yes.
And then you can't afford to be going upstairs and all those various things. You need to be able to move about very comfortably. So you're looking not only at the present, you're also looking at the human life cycle and what are the needs that will come up during that human life cycle. And that's the part of the dance.
So it's not short-term thinking. We're looking about long-term in terms of how it's going to evolve with your needs as well.
Yeah.
So you're looking ahead. And I think that's a really important concept, because I think we can tend to be a bit short-sighted. I want the space to look nice now, and then you don't think about 5 years, 10 years going.
And then if you have a mortgage on your house,
Yes.
and your kids are small when you've got the mortgage, which is 25
Yes.
years, and then the kids grow and they leave you with this house, which you still have to pay the mortgage, and you don't have the energy to work, how do you pay it? So it really needs to also have a long
No, but because I know container living, especially in Nairobi, is becoming a big thing. Is a lot of people are. So it'd be nice just to show us in terms of inspiration what people can do. I just love the fact that there's a lot of light, and it's comfortable. It's not basic. It doesn't feel like you're camping. Sometimes you feel a bit rough already. Even though you've zoned, you've used this blind, simple things like using blinds to zone. And I think people can do, even in a rental home, you can take ideas.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because obviously a lot of people are renting, so they also need ideas of how they can take from here and put them in their spaces.
In fact, this partition I took from the Japanese. It's actually,
Yes.
you know how the Japanese home is very,
Yes.
you can actually have spaces and then you can open them out.
Yeah.
So for a long time I've been seeing this, and I've been waiting for this to be able to come to Kenya so that I can actually use it as a divider.
Yeah.
And it's really great because it really opens out and then it can also close up.
Yeah, so you can create intimacy within the space.
Yeah. So let me take you to the the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the kitchen.
I love it. It's just, it's a full-size kitchen.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you've got everything you need, and it's open, and it's bright, and it's light. So if somebody's sitting here, they're part of the conversation that's going on. Really, really very, very cool.
Yeah, and when I really was doing this, I really had to think, how do I like a kitchen? And I said, I like to see things. If I see things, I'm going to use them. If I can't see them, I don't know if I'm ever going to use them. So I did the storage in such a way that people can actually see everything.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you notice, there's sort of little corners like this. We're getting the saucepans where we have that issue of going right back there and stuff.
Yeah.
So I really sort of looked into those details of what does a woman want in her kitchen. And men, I'm not refusing you to be a part of this, but there's some little details women can tell you. And I kept that in mind.
No, because I love also, the thing is, you've got to be really neat.
Yes.
Because, you know what I mean? If you're going to have everything out, it's got to be, all very sort of neat. And it's lovely. Really, I love the way it works. Because, you've got the triangle, more or less, as well. You kept the fridge, sink, and cooker. Really very cool.
And ironically, this fridge, sink, and cooker was from Cornell University, where I was.
Really?
They're the ones who actually developed the triangle. Yeah.
Wow, but that's one of the kitchen design philosophies, isn't it?
Yeah.
For those people who may not be aware,
Yeah.
it's got to be a triangle between. And why is that important? Yeah.
Well, you need to get something from the fridge to be able to cook here, and then once you've done the cooking, you need to be able to wash, and then once you've done the washing, of course, you put in the storage. But there is that relationship in terms of being able to cook, and to clean, and to have the storage for the food.
And it just makes it easier to move around the flow.
Much easier.
'Cause I think some people forget that when they're designing kitchens, don't they?
Oh, a lot of people do. Yeah. If you can do it, it's best. Of course, sometimes it's a straight one, but still you need to have that understanding of the relationship between food that you've taken out, cooking, and cleaning. It's very critical that you have that. Otherwise, it becomes a stress.
So where you store your food, dried goods and things?
Oh, I have a cupboard here that looks very simple, but it is amazing.
This is incredible, amazing.
And I got this idea from Pinterest. Pinterest is a wonderful, it's really wonderful platform.
Yeah, I love Pinterest.
But the thing you have to know is what do you really want, so you can actually identify it. Otherwise, it will confuse the hell out of you. Because there'll be so many ideas, and I did go through many ideas, but then I had to think, what exactly do I want for my house, for my home? And so this has worked out really well.
I love it. The depth is quite deep, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You've got two of the bottles, and you've got everything you need, and you can see everything. That's the beauty of it. You can see everything.
And people ask me, so why did you cut in here? And I said, so I can see. Because we tend to put crowd things and then you can't see the
and you're
back.
sort of scrambling at the back, and things expire, you don't even know they're there.
Exactly.
And I love the way you got your herbs here, so you just pick them out.
And then also when you're going shopping, you just go through and see, okay, what am I missing? very easily, and then you just jot that down and you go shopping.
I think this is the idea that anyone can take away
Oh,
with them,
yeah.
you know. And even if you had a space, you actually build this and then take it with you when you leave, right?
One could do that.
Yeah,
One
I
could
think if
actually
you've
do
got a, why not?
Yeah.
It works really well.
Actually, when you're talking like that, maybe somebody can design cupboards, movable cupboards like this.
Why not? I think so. I mean, 'cause I was thinking, a lot of people watching are renting, so those looking for ideas, or you can even try and customize something you have. With the landlord's permission. No, really, 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 really good. You know, and you never know. And then it obviously.
And then it just looks like a normal cupboard
wonderful
in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So there we are.